Hi, my name is Kirby Knowles, and today I'm going to teach you how to teach your dog to do the command cover. What is cover, you ask? Cover is a command used by service dog handlers for some psychiatric tasks or as a positioning tool to keep their dog out of the way of the public. It involves having the dog stand in front of you like a wall until they are released. To get a reliable command could take weeks. Do not rush this process, as it will just lead to both you and your dog getting frustrated. Disclaimer: teaching a dog this behavior does not make it a service dog. That takes 2 years of training in tasks to mitigate a handler's disability, as well as how to behave in public places pets cannot and should not go. What are you going to need to teach your dog how to cover? Obviously, you're going to need your dog. Make sure they're not tired or having to go to the restroom. Make sure they're ready to learn. You're going to need a clicker or some other type of marker word, such as yes or nice. This is personal preference, but if you've never trained your dog to do anything before, I would suggest using the clicker, as it gives you the best timing. You're also going to need treats. This can be your dog's food, it can be treats that you buy from the store, it can be treats you make. Just something that gets your dog excited and goes, hey, I want to eat that. If your dog is not enticed by food, you could also use a toy, or some dogs just plain love affection. While that's harder, it can be done. However, I'm going to assume that your dog, like most, is motivated by food. First, we need to charge the marker. What this means is you're going to pair the word or sound of your choice with a treat. It basically tells the dog, yes, I liked what you did right there. Again, I suggest using the clicker as it helps with timing, which is key in dog training. You want to make sure the dog knows what they are being praised for. However, again, if you want to use the word yes or nice, that's perfectly fine as well. Just know you might have a little bit of a harder time. After every word or sound, the dog gets a treat. Eventually, you can fade out the treats and just use your word or sound as well as affection as the reinforcement for the behavior. You'll know when your marker is charged when, as you say the word or make the sound, the dog will sit. Usually, that's the cue that the dog understands that noise means I get a treat. Now we're going to begin to shape our cover behavior. After charging your marker, you can begin to lure and shape the behavior you want. Standing in front of a wall, call your dog over to you, and using the treat to lure the dog's nose, not their eyes, get them into the position you eventually want them in. The moment you are there, use your marker, treat, and then allow them to go. This all should happen within a matter of seconds. Mark, treat, release. At this point, as tempting as it is, do not use the word cover as a cue. We will use that once the dog has figured out the game, so to speak. After the dog is reliably moving into position with the treat lure, it is time to up the ante. In this case, this means moving farther away from the wall. The wall was guiding the dog and keeping the dog from moving out of position. Now that we are moving away from it, it is up to the dog to stay until released. It should only be a second or two at this point. If the dog is not performing the behavior, do not be afraid to take a step back and move towards the wall until the dog is ready. You have to go at the dog's pace. Adding a cue word. Once your dog is performing the command with the lure away from the wall, Now it's time to add your cue word in. As the dog moves into position, right before you mark the behavior, say cover. Again, don't be afraid to move back to the wall if your dog seems confused, or take a break if you are getting frustrated. Adding a release word. Up until this point, your dog has been holding the position for only a second or two. Now we are going to stretch that time out. You may have to use more treats to keep your dog in this position, and do not go fast. Go from 1 second to 2 to 4 until your dog is holding position for minutes at a time. When the time is up, make sure you say whatever you have chosen as your release command, such as okay or break. If your dog won't leave position when you say that, throw a treat so they run after it, effectively breaking position. This can also be faded over time. After working at your dog's pace and fading the help of the wall, you should be able to say the word cover and have your dog come stand in front of you until released. If you want to fade treats, do it slowly and never ask for your dog to do something without treats that they have not done first many times with